Hello makers! Today's video is featuring a classic pair of mini slimlines that I made for the Stampers Anonymous Spring Curation for 2026 featuring the Tim Holtz collection. Today's cards use the Classics number 16 stamp set. This is a Stampers Anonymous classic set. This is not part of the Tim Holtz collection, but it does go really well with all of Tim's stamps. So it has this bird with a lot of postal imagery, always take the scenic route. It is good to have an end to journey toward, but it's the journey that matters in the end. And then there's this frame, the pear, and this really cool checkerboard corner stamp. So I'm looking forward to using this. I didn't have this stamp set before. And as I said before, these are going to be two mini slimline cards. I have the card bases. They are 6 by 3 inches, so 6 inches tall, 3 inches across, and then 5 3/4 by 2 3/4 for the part that I'm going to be stamping on today. And I used white heavy stock. So I'm going to be using the frame and the pear. And then in the frame, I'm going to be putting this watercolor butterfly from the watercolor stamp set. And I'm also going to be layering some things on the linen from the linen and mesh background stamp set. That's one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. So I'm looking forward to putting some of these images to use. And I'm going to invite you to come along and let's get making. I'm going to start with speckled egg, and you can see I'm just kind of rubbing it here and there across the background stamp, the linen stamp, and then I'm just adding a little bit from the corner of the crushed olive, and you can kind of see the colors on there. I didn't want to completely cover it. I sprayed it with some water, and now I'm just stamping. You can see I didn't put it on a block. I just kind of want to get some of that linen texture in those two colors here and there across the background. And then I didn't you can respray it with some water if you want, but I knew there was still plenty of ink and water left on this. So I actually grabbed another piece and just continued stamping so that I had several backgrounds to choose from. And I kind of remembered which parts I had stamped, so I knew which parts had still a little bit of ink left on them. So now I have 3 backgrounds I can choose from. I just need to dry those, and this is layer number 1. Now I'm going to add layer number 2. So I'm using that really cool checkerboard corner stamp, and I'm stamping in the top and bottom corner of this background with black soot archival ink. And so I have the corners on that one. And now I'm going to wipe the black soot off, and I am going to put a second background on, put it in the same position, but this time I'm stamping with hickory smoke archival ink. I think hickory smoke is interesting to stamp with because when you add the distress inks on top of it, the archival ink in hickory smoke, it kind of does an interesting thing. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how this will work out. All right, it's time to stamp my focal points. So I'm stamping the pear and I'm stamping the frame on another piece of distress white heavy stock. And then I need to stamp this frame on the background. So I'm stamping it in black soot archival on the hickory smoke background. And then you'll kind of see why I'm doing that a little bit later. And then I have this again, I need to stamp that butterfly, and I wasn't sure which one I was going to like, so I stamped it in black soot and then I stamped it also in the hickory smoke, and we'll see which one I end up, once I get it colored, which one I end up wanting to use on my card. So I have my stamping pretty much done at this point, and you can actually see on the hickory smoke when I went in with a little bit of black soot on the body. But I want to start coloring with those same basic color scheme, the crushed olive and the speckled egg. And then once I get them colored, I'm going to cut them out. So here I am starting to color, and I'm going to color both backgrounds right now. So I have crushed olive, and I am coloring in the darker squares on the checkers, and I'm doing that with the crushed olive, and basically on the black soot one, it's just only showing through on the script, and that's okay. But I'm just doing a quick watercolor wash with this crushed olive. So I'm also coloring the pear with that. And now I'm going to go in and add a little blue with the speckled egg. And I'm also going to color, I decided to color in the light squares with the speckled egg on both backgrounds. And I'm also going to color in some of that butterfly with the speckled egg. I'm drawing in between and before I add some crushed olive, and then my cat, Pilar, decided to come in and help out a little bit. So you'll see her make a couple of appearances. She loves to be involved. And so I'm just adding a little bit more crushed olive around on these butterflies. And then I decided to kind of pull the brightness of those down a little bit by adding some walnut stain distress ink to that. And you can still see those little paws peeking in. She was so helpful. So now I went around the outside of the pear and the stem of the pear with the walnut stain, and I'm also going around on this um, and I'm coloring in some of the darker areas with the walnut stain, and I colored in some of um, the basic frame with pumice stone. I didn't want it to be too dark, so the basic frame is pumice stone, and then I just added some shadows with the walnut stain. So here you can see it is colored, and I have fussy cut my parts out. I have layered them. You could use foam tape for yours, but mine are going in the Stampers Anonymous booth, and so I added some chipboard on the back of my pieces. I have found that it doesn't come off as easily as the foam does, so I am going around the outside um, of the stamped portions with some walnut stain, just so that it gives a little definition as to the edge of the stamped piece. And just putting those on. And now you can kind of see why I stamped that onto the background, because you can see the script and the writing that was around the outside of the frame. And I didn't want to lose that detail. So, and then I just popped that butterfly up right in the center of the frame, and there's lots of dimension there without really having to do a lot. Stuck the pear up in the middle of the second one, and now I'm going to start adding from Crazy Talk, which was part of the release. I'm adding a couple of sentiments, and so I picked You and Me for the pear because I thought that was a fun kind of play on words with the pear, and then Hello Friend. And so I actually, this looks like it's watercolor cardstock that I have layered 2 layers, and this is the smooth side. I am just stamping both sentiments in, I think I stamped them both in black soot archival, yes. And so once I get them stamped on, I am going to cut them out, and that's why I decided to glue 2 pieces of the watercolor paper together, because then I can cut it out and it's actually going to give it a little bit of stability, a little bit more than just one layer. And I just use my scissors and just fussy cut kind of around the little sentiment there, always trying to figure out exactly where. And this one I thought I was going to do as a square, and then I decided, or a rectangle, I didn't like it that way, so I went ahead and fussy cut around the letters on the You and Me also for the pear. And then I was thinking, should I put it on the pear or under? And I went ahead and decided to put it under both of those main focal points. And again, I just cut some little pieces of chipboard, glued it on the back, and then I am gluing the chipboard to the card front, and that's it. Let's take a minute to look at some of the details on today's mini Slimlines. So as I lift this up, I'm going to try and give you a close-up look at just that light watercolor stamping of the linen background stamp from Mesh and Linen. Again, one of my favorite background stamps. It goes with pretty much anything. You can get those to work with almost any stamp set. And I just think it gives it a great basic layer so that the background isn't just plain white. And then those corners that I added with the black soot and then added in the crushed olive and the speckled egg, just such a light color scheme. It's not really in your face, but it adds interest and I think really goes so well with these stamps. So, and then this one was the one where I did those corners in the hickory smoke, but see how that it allows them to be in the background and not really fighting with that frame that I colored with the pumice stone. And then we've got some again of the crushed olive and the speckled egg in there. All of them just going so well together and really just supporting those uh, cards. So I think this one's so fun, and I love the play on words. I really enjoyed coloring the pear and adding the colors on those little squares. I think it all just really blends so beautifully together. And even the little sentiments, because they are handwritten and with all the script in these, I think they just go beautifully together. All right. Well, I hope that you enjoyed today's short tutorial and that you are inspired to make some mini slimlines and to even give some of these old classics a try. They're a lot of fun. Want to thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are interested in any of the products, I have my affiliate links below with all of the products that I use for today's tutorial, as well as on my blogspot at playswellwithpaper.blogspot.com. And as an additional thank you, I do have two giveaways today. Giveaway number one is for US residents. It is the Crazy Talk sentiment stamp set that I used for today's cards. If you would like to be considered for that, if you don't have it yet, I would love to gift it to you. So to be in the drawing, please tell me what type of sentiment do you use the most? What type of, cards? Is it birthday, thank you, thinking of you, that kind of thing. And then the second giveaway is for my international followers. So if you could let me know what country are you watching from, and that would be great to know. And then I can pop a stencil in the mail to you and get that right out to you if your name is drawn. And so, how about if we check back here? I will draw names Thursday, March 11th, about 1 o'clock Pacific time here in the US, and I will post a reply to your comment, and that way you'll know to send me your address so I can pop these in the mail to you, okay? All right, so that's going to do it for today. I want to thank you again for watching, and I want to wish you a very creative day.